Hi, Sagittarius. So this is going to be your November reading. And I want to give a shout out to my friends, my two friends that I know are Sagittarius, Chris and Jennifer. And if you watched my channel before, you know I just got back from vacation. I am running very far behind on my November readings because I got back on Monday. This is Sunday, and I proceeded to get sick about a day after I walked in the door. And I had all of these fabulous ideas that I was going to do, and then my body decided that that was not what was going to happen. So I have literally laid around most of the week with a headache and chest congestion and detoxing from self-inflicted food wounds, and I have been a mess, and it's all my fault. So there's the first card. So today is actually the first day that I have felt halfway decent, and that's partially because I went to the grocery store a couple of days ago, and I thought, you know what, I am not eating anything except for fruits and vegetables and some eggs and stuff that I know isn't going to make me sick. So I had to literally take everything out of my food intake system that I normally eat, because all of a sudden I'm even more sensitive to what I am eating than I used to be, and it's kind of a big pain in the ass, to be honest. I used to be able to eat anything, and now I cannot. So I don't want all of those. So for any of those of you who used to be very healthy, have found yourself being sick all of a sudden, check your ingredients, especially your like sugar-free syrups, sugar-free protein bars, anything that you think is doing yourself a favor. I have found that that's been part of my problem, is because I took sugar out of my system, and so I replaced that with stuff that was not sugar, didn't have sugar in it, and now that stuff is like making me sicker than a dog. So I ate a Quest bar the other day. I had forgotten what a Quest bar does to me, and immediately started coughing and got constricted in my chest. So I'm like, God dang it, I forgot why I quit eating these things. Now I remember. Anyway, sorry. If you've watched my channel before, you know what I normally do is I pull 4 or 5 tarot cards. That'll give me kind of the energy for... My phone is like going back and forth for whatever reason. It's trying to focus, and it's having a hard time. So I pull 4 or 5 tarot cards, look at those, decide what kind of the energy for the month is, and then decide if it's career related or romance or what, and then I pull clarifier cards for that. If you are brand new to my channel, welcome. I am Jody with Soul Purpose Tarot. I live in Carmel, Indiana, and the little vacation I took, I went out to Sedona and Scottsdale and met someone in person that I met on my YouTube channel, of all places. So we became very, very fast friends immediately. So, and I know he's watching this. So, hi, Chris. Anyway, let's see what's going on for the month of November for you guys. And I'll shut up. I don't want that many cards. I just need... There's one. Okay. Let's see what we got going here. And since it's been a couple of weeks since I have done any of these, could be a little rusty. So if I trip over my words, if I trip over my cards, I apologize. It's just because this is the first one I have done in like 2 weeks, and I got a little rusty. I took all my cards with me out to Sedona and my crystals, so hopefully everything got energized. Okay, so now we've got... Okay. let's get started. What do we got? So we got the, okay, Seven of Swords in reverse. So Seven of Swords would be someone sneaking away if it was in the upright position, but it's in the reversed position. So to me, that feels like someone in your life is not sneaking away. They are laying it all out on the line. They are being truthful. They are telling you how they see it, how it is, or whatever. But for whatever reason, you may not be listening to it. Most of the time, I think we are all used to people maybe deceiving us, or questioning whether someone is being truthful with us. And in this case, I feel like someone is being truthful with you, and perhaps you are just not taking it for face value in whatever way, shape, or form that could be. That could be romance, that could be work related, that could be family. Somebody's trying to tell you something and you're not seeing it for whatever reason. That's what feels like that is coming with that card. The next one is Four of Pentacles, and I feel like this is, for whatever reason, you are not feeling, I wanted to say gratuitous, but I don't feel like that is the right word. You're not feeling your money flow at this point in time, so you're hanging on for it. And the universe says, in order for money to flow, it needs to flow through you and out of you. And if you hang on to it for dear life, that is your way of saying, I don't trust the universe to bring me more, therefore I'm going to hang on to it for dear life. And the universe always responds to your requests, which is, okay, fine, you think I'm not going to give you any money, so I'm not going to give you any money, and you propel the cycle of no money to be even worse. So the advice with that is, if you truly are hanging onto your money like there is no tomorrow, then find ways to start letting it flow through you in simple ways. It could be buying somebody in line behind you a cup of coffee that costs $2 or $3. It could be buying somebody a cigar. It's in line behind you, or whatever. I don't know. I mean, I think cigars are really expensive, so you may go, oh, hell no, I'm not doing that. But whatever the case is, you get my point of spend some money somewhere to let the universe know that you know there is more coming. That is where I was going with that in a very roundabout way. Seven of Pentacles. This lady looks like she is a little pissed off. It's like she has planted her seeds and they are not growing fast enough. And this just feels to me like she is very frustrated. One has even fallen off the ground. If you notice, can you see the card, the one on the very bottom? So it's like she's watching her stalk, her beanstalk grow. To me, she looks like she's like, it's not growing fast enough. They're not growing big enough. And she's being more ungrateful than she is being grateful that she even has some sort of a crop at all. So you need to keep an eye on that. And if you are finding yourself being ungrateful, start finding ways to be grateful, because that's the way the universe brings stuff to you, is when they see you are grateful for the stuff that they have given you, or it has given you, it brings you more of that. And if all you think about is the bad stuff that the universe is bringing you, it doesn't know it's bad or good. It just continues to bring you more of that. So be very, very careful about what you spend your time and thoughts on, because you're just going to get more of that. So enough said. This is the Queen of Cups. So somewhere, someplace in life, this person, and it could be you, it could be the other person, is not communicating their true feelings. Because this is the Queen of Cups, and the Queen of Cups tends to have a lot of emotions. She just doesn't share it. She doesn't say what's going on. She doesn't say what she's thinking. So if you feel like this is going on, Maybe it's a work relationship and you feel like your boss is up to something or no good and there's something going on. Your intuition is telling you you're getting ready to get fired or something. I don't know. There's someone not communicating something to you. You may or may not be able to get to the bottom of it right at this moment, but just know that's coming eventually when that person gets ready to say what's on their mind. Or again, if this is you, you may be holding your emotions close to the vest, and because of fear of, if you say what you're really thinking, that it could backfire on you or whatever. The Hierophant, well, see, that's all about spiritual, to me, that's all about spiritual awakening, spiritual learning. Everything you're going through right now all has a reason. And the conversation that I had with my girlfriend today was about letting go of control. And if there is stuff going on in your life right now that you don't like, stop trying to control it. And my advice to her was, if you knew that the universe had your back and your best at heart, and you knew what their plans were, would you step back and go, okay, fine, I'll let you take care of it. I'm not going to mess with it anymore. Would you do that? And she said, well, yes, I would. Okay, so do that. Even though you don't know what the universe has coming your way, let go of the control, let go of the reins, and let them take you down the path that they want to take you down, and quit trying to mess with things, because you're usually your worst enemy, and you get in your way more than anybody does with plans that the universe, it's like they might be trying to take you down this way, and you're doing everything you can to go down this way because this is how you see your life going, and the universe is going, but you said you wanted this, you wanted happiness, you wanted this, you wanted that, blah, 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 blah. And we're placing it down here, and you think it's over here, and you guys are fighting. So step back from the situation and let things unravel the way they're supposed to do without you getting in the middle and messing up all the strings and whatever, so you guys can separate that. And I hope that makes sense. I know what I'm trying to say. Sometimes it makes sense to me, sometimes it doesn't. Okay, this doesn't feel like it's necessarily romance. This feels like it's life related. Pardon me while I take a drink. I have got not the furnace on, the air on. It's 40 degrees outside, and it's like my body is like a furnace these days. And yeah, it's probably menopause, I know. I don't need to be reminded of that. So anyway, I'm going to do these for whatever reason. Work your light. Since I feel like at this moment in time, you need encouragement to understand why you are going through what you are going through. We're not going to do specific clarifying cards. These are just more messages from the divine, the universe, your higher self, your oversoul, God, guardian angels. We'll keep those two. Past people, which that reminds me, this is a cool story. My dad passed away a year ago in August. And I had a dream about him yesterday morning, which is the first time I've had a dream about my dad since he died. And in that dream, it was me and him in a tractor. And he made a comment about Ciro Marchetti being the designer of his tractor. Well, Ciro or Ciro Marchetti, however that is pronounced, designs tarot cards. I have some. Right here, the Gilded Tarot, that's one of his decks. So in this dream, I'm kind of like, oh, I didn't know that he designed tractors. I thought he designed tarot cards. Then I woke up, got up yesterday morning, every morning I get on YouTube and I check to see if any of my favorite readers or my astrologers or anything has a new report that I need to watch. And one of the readers that I watch all the time she's moving, and she said, I haven't been doing readings all week because I've been trying to move, but Spirit was leading me to do one. And she said, I was led to use this particular Ciro Marchetti deck for this reading, and they were very specific about making sure I use this particular deck. And I was like, holy crap. So I paid special attention to that reading, because I thought that is so bizarre that my dad would come to me in a dream and tell me something specific like that, and then something so specific to that comes up in just, a channeled reading that someone is doing online. So I don't know if you all believe in synchronicities. I do. I pay attention to that. And if you're not, get your head out of your ass, because you should be. You should be noticing numbers, repeating numbers. My friend finds feathers all the time. You should be having words or phrases deposited in your head over and over and over again that your spirit guides want you to pay attention to, or books that they want you to read, or songs getting deposited in your head. And maybe it's like I was waking up in the morning for a while with certain snippets of songs in my head. And the only thing I could think of was I had to look up the lyrics to some of them, because I had to figure out what it was I was trying to figure out from that. If you guys aren't experiencing that kind of stuff, you should be by now. Everybody should be experiencing this. And if you're not, that means you're still living in the 3D world. You're still wrapped up in all the bullshit that everybody wants to believe is what is real. And it's time to get your head out of your ass. That's all I can say. I'm like, it's just making me mad even thinking about it. Okay. So the Keepers of the Earth, this is the card, one of the messages that came up. The Keepers of the Earth, you are not alone. Ancient ancestors stand behind you. Yes, I definitely believe that. Pleiades, double mission, channeling and uplifting humanity. So for those of you who are watching this and you are wondering what your purpose in life is, maybe you guys you may not be channeling at this point in time, but that could be something that could be opening up for you. I suggested that my friend who is going through a really rough time journal, because she said a lot of people were giving her all kinds of advice and she didn't know which way was up. And I said, only you can give yourself the best advice. Get you a piece of paper and write out everything. And if it takes you an hour to do it, then do it. Write down your fears. What am I afraid of? What happens if I do this? What happens if I don't do this? What happens if this happens? What happens? And just keep going. And why do I feel this way? And go and write and write and write until you have got everything out of your system. And by the time you get done doing that, you're going to have several questions answered. One is, why do I feel this way? And you're not going to feel that way anymore because you will have gotten it out of your system and onto a piece of paper. It's just so cleansing to do that kind of journaling. And when I was in Sedona, I actually got a reading of my own. I had a guy do a reading for me, and 3 times something about journaling came up, which I do pretty frequently, especially when I'm going through kind of a tizzy and I can't figure out why I'm feeling a particular way. I will journal until I rectify where these feelings are coming from. I did that after me and the guy I was dating not long ago got into a big fight, and in the middle of the night I was journaling about what had happened and realized that my abandonment issues had flared up. After I wrote out all of my fears, I'm afraid he's going to leave me. I'm afraid of this. I'm afraid of this. I'm afraid of this. And I'm afraid of this. And I was like, okay, I'm afraid of being abandoned. And that came up from this whole big thing, which someday I'll tell you about that. I'm trying to get the nerve to talk about why that actually happened and what the subject matter was, because I think it could help a lot of people. I just haven't gotten the nerve to do that just yet. Anyway, the other one says Unbound, releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. Yeah. So whatever you're going through right now probably does have a lot to do with soul patterns. I do past life readings. And that's one of the things when I do a past life reading is we find out that you tend to have certain themes over and over and over again. And until you get those particular themes worked out and released, you're going to keep doing those over and over again. So anyway, releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. So if anybody needs some past life healing or releasing or readings or whatever, I do those. They're $75, and usually I can get 2 or 3 past lives. I read the Akashic records, and so I can tap into your Akashic records. We can go in and we can ask for specific things. If there are specific people that you are dealing with and you want to know what happened in a past life with that specific person, if you're dealing with a particular ailment or whatever, I go in, I ask my guides to give me stuff that's relevant to that particular situation, and whatever comes through, I will say 9 out of 10 times the other person understands it, makes sense to them. I've only had like one person that I did a reading for, and this was way back in the beginning when I first started, and she was like, yeah, that doesn't make any sense to me. Now I've had 2 that didn't make sense to them. One of them made sense to me. It didn't make sense to her. But I can't help that all the time. If they are blind to what's coming through, then they're blind to what's coming through. I mean, I really can't control anything like that. So I am so sorry. I am so wordy on this today. But like I said, this is the first time I've done a reading in like 2 weeks. And I guess I have a lot to say. One of the things that happened on the reading was he said that my career was going to take off and that I had done the work that I needed to. And this whole trip out west was to help me move to the next stage. So maybe that's why I'm so wordy today. I've got a lot of channeling that's coming through because I feel like they're going vroom, 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 vroom. Anyway, I keep apologizing. I don't know why. But I'm excited. I'm like, this feels good. This feels like this is all messages from the other side. And this is definitely not me making any of this stuff up. So this is the Angel Oracle card. Again, this would be messages from angels, the universe. Let's see what else comes out here. Okay, so release and surrender. We already had that conversation. We shower you with blessings of our radiant love. Open your arms and release the challenges that you have held tightly gripped within your hands. Open your hands, arms, and heart to our love and assistance. I said that earlier. Let the universe handle things. Quit trying to control things. And then quit getting mad when the universe does try to do things a little differently than you think it should be done. If you can release and surrender, it's going to make things a lot easier. And this one says trustworthy guidance. You've received a wonderful idea as an answer to your prayers. This idea is real and trustworthy. You can safely move forward with it, knowing that we are with you every step of the way. Ask for and be open to receiving our support for anything that you need related to this idea. I don't know what that idea is. Maybe you do. I, again, would highly suggest journaling. If you don't have that idea and you're looking for ideas, journal and let the ideas come down through from your higher self, oversoul, guides, whatever. It'll usually come down through the pen and onto the paper. And if you just don't judge what's coming out, just write your feelings and what's coming out until you can't write anymore, you will be amazed at what you're going to find out. The last one says entrepreneur. Self-employment suits your disposition and intentions. Working for yourself allows you to better follow your intuition and divine guidance. We are your co-workers and teammates who remain loyally by your side to assure your success in all ways. Well, I decided a long time ago that I needed to be an entrepreneur or my own boss because I cannot stand working for other people. I don't like being told what to do, and it makes me cranky. I am the one that's supposed to tell people what to do. I don't mean to be cocky when I say that, but that's just how I feel. Is like I feel like I was born to be a leader, not a follower. And that pretty much shows up in everything that I do in life. There are times I will follow, but there are more times that I am a better leader or giving advice or whatever. And I've been playing that role a lot lately. And I love that. I love being the person that comes to me for valuable advice. And I love when someone says you're right. Now, that could be my ego speaking, but I love being able to take somebody from one position of frustration, and by the time they get done, they have a whole different point of view on it. That's my purpose in life. So hopefully when I do these readings, you come in with one attitude and you leave with a whole different one. And if not, then tell me that I didn't do my job. And tell me how I can do it better. I am open to constructive criticism. This one's probably going to get quit yammering so much and give us more cards. But you know what? Not happening today. The next one are Whispers of Healing. And just, again, some more advice cards from your guides or whatever about things to do to rectify this situation that you have found you're in. And a frustration feels like the word. Frustration of where you're at and why you can't get yourself out of it. And then I will be done. They will be done lecturing, they said. Then we'll be done lecturing. Apparently you guys are stubborn. I get the feeling. And maybe they've been trying to give you this advice for a while and you have been trying to do things your own way. And they're like, hey, if they'll listen to that chick, we've got their attention. We're going to take advantage of it right now. Okay, so we're going to do those four and then we're going to be done for November. One that says control. Release control. I already mentioned that once. That's what they're trying to get you to do is release control. Oh, God. Get some sleep. This came up last time, I think. My girlfriend that I talked to today said she hadn't slept like all week. And it seems like this came up. I know my other friend hasn't been sleeping very well because the stress is getting to you guys. Journal. Please write it down. Talk to somebody. Don't hold all of this in because it's giving you clutter brain. And that's one of the reasons, it's like you can't think straight right now is because, one, you're taking advice from the wrong people. And, nobody can give you better advice than yourself. That's why I'm telling you to journal and get that out. And then you'll be able to sleep. You won't be laying there in the middle of the night trying to think of everything. 30 is awareness. And I guess I feel like the first step to healing is having awareness of what is wrong. Let me think about this. What are they wanting you to be aware of? Old habits. They are wanting you've still got old habits and tendencies that are affecting your life currently. And when you recognize that old patterns are coming up, that the quicker that you can recognize that old patterns are what's causing this strife and grief and situation currently, the quicker you can get over that. And they're wanting you to repattern your thoughts to like a new way of thinking instead of like the old habits perhaps that your parents taught you, or just things always going to the dark side and assuming the worst of everything is going on. Okay, so that makes sense to me. And the last one is strength. And I feel like this is just saying that you are stronger than you think you are. Right now, you don't feel like you are very strong, but you do have your guides. You have everybody behind you. You have the universe behind you. And sometimes you need to let other people hold you up when things are falling apart around you. So it's okay to ask for someone else for some strength to help you when shit hits the fan. And I do know that shit has hit the fan majorly for a couple of my friends. So if that is you, Sagittarius, that are watching this, I would love it if you would comment. Let me know what's going on. Does this make sense to you? Like, subscribe, share, pass it on to your other Sag friends who might be going through the same thing and could use some encouragement right now. I will see you all middle of November. Thanks. Bye.